maximum, Josh Payne. Josh Payne fordert den erfolgreichsten Dartspieler in der Geschichte dieser Sportart aus dem deutschsprachigen Raum heraus. Er ist die Nummer 8 der Welt, er hat European Tour Erfolge feiern können, er hat die Champions League of Darts gewonnen und damit auch einen Major-Sieg einfahren können. Ladies and Gentlemen, aus Wien, the gentle Suljovic!
Second only to perhaps Max Hopp, the German number 1 in the affections of this Munich crowd, is the number 4 seed Mensur Suljovic. The man who won the Champions League of Darts, despite insisting all the way through that he was unable to win the Champions League of Darts. And he takes on Josh Payne, a man who does have a couple of PDC titles to his name. One of the new breed of darts players. Don't look like conventional darts players, these young men. We have, in the 5th game of the evening session here at the German Darts Grand Prix, the beefcake versus the fruitcake. Josh Payne against Mensur Suljovic for a spot in the final day of action. Rob Malarkey in the commentary box for it.
Which one's which, Dan?
You know.
Yeah, Mensur Suljovic, I mean, what can you say about him? He's a man who perhaps personifies PDC Europe. Only 5 players have played more European Tour matches than this man. He's been a virtual ever-present over the course of the last 7 years on the European Tour. And he has had success on the European Tour stage as well. It's a great story, it's a great journey that he's been on. And there are signs maybe that
first leg, Josh to throw first. Game on.
This is a match that features in the second quarter, and it's worth pointing out as well, Dan, that if Mensur wins this, this will be the only quarter of the draw with 4 seeds left in it. It is opening up elsewhere, but this is potentially the segment that will be the most difficult to survive and come through into the semi-finals.
Yeah, Dave Chisnall was incredible in booking his place in the final day of action. It is Chizzy who awaits. But Mensur, as you say, the European Tour stages, it is synonymous with the great Austrian number 1. A man who has made 6 Euro Tour finals and the final of the European Championship. Won a couple of those Euro Tour finals. There aren't many players who've won more than 1 European Tour. But if Mensur were to go on and win this here this weekend, he'd move to 3 titles behind only MVG, Peter Wright, Phil Taylor and Michael Smith. Speaking of Phil Taylor, Mensur Suljovic was playing over in Frankfurt in a big exhibition last night. Beat the power on the way to the title, beat Simon Whitlock in the final.
57.
It was, of course, the European Championship where he went on to make the final, beat Phil Taylor in that, and Peter Wright, in fact. The first time he'd beaten Phil Taylor, it was a big moment, an emotional moment for Mensur. Phil Taylor was always his hero, his idol in the game.
140.
And as well as beating Phil Taylor, he's beaten Josh Payne on a fair few occasions before as well. 5 to be precise. Just the one win for Josh.
161.
And just the one previous encounter on the European stage. That was last year in Holland as well.
Notably, though, some of those games have been close, and the time that he beat Mensur was the time he went on to win his first PDC title.
Yes, that was in Barnsley in 2016.
127.
Mensur coming out on top on the most recent meeting, though. That was the one in Holland. 6-5, one of those close encounters. 3 6-5 scorelines, in fact.
Has Mensur got his sums right, or is our scoreboard messed up?
84. Mensur, you require 34.
Oh, well, our scoreboard apparently is correct. Of course, he wants 6 for double 14.
Game shot the
What
first
Mensur's
leg.
done there is go for the 25 to guarantee 2 darts at the double when he returns. But he's hit the bullseye. And double 14 is a faithful friend to the Austrian number 1.
Like a golden retriever. Watched by his son, who's at the side of the stage.
100.
Tariq. I wonder if he'll follow in his father's footsteps.
He does like a game of darts, Tarek. I've played him.
Did you beat him?
100.
Mostly. Mostly.
So that means you have lost to him.
Yes, but I mean, I am dreadful.
And
Fine
he's
young man.
Still smiling about it now.
Evidently an Ian White fan hitting the dab there.
It'd been great if he'd just done the old Mensur rub of the things. The dying swan.
Now then. Lovely stuff. First maximum of this one, and it comes from a man who was going by the nickname The Maximum for a while. I think that's been abandoned now. Sure we can do better.
$96.
Oh, curious for Mensur to leave himself a bogey number. Not usually something you see from the gentle.
Unless
57.
there's some cunning route to 28 from here, but yeah, it seems a little bit out of kilter for Mensur.
He's looking at 719 sleeve 32. There's one of them. Well, I thought he was.
97. Josh, you require 164.
So he's got options here, the 18s or the 20s or the 19s. Well, he's gone the conventional way, but you need to find a couple of trebles for a dart at bull.
44. Mensur, you
And the
require
180
68.
from Josh in this leg. Not surrounded by enough good stuff. Mensur 2020 double 14.
Of course it is.
Game shot the second leg. Mensur Suljovic.
And as sure as
The
night
leg
follows
toss
day,
to
he
the
finds
first.
double 14.
Game on.
Well, a couple of 15 darters for Mensur Suljovic to start this game, and for a man who is, I don't think he's actually played particularly well over the last few weeks in the Premier League, but he does, after a crucial victory over Darrell Gurney on Thursday night in Cardiff, find himself very much in the hunt for a spot at the O2.
Yes, I mean, he didn't really... I mean, he punished Gurney for a string of missed doubles in that match,
95.
but Suljovic himself didn't really cover himself in too much glory as far as his own finishing was concerned, but he just about did enough. It is a very congested Premier League table with those players vying for third and fourth.
140.
Yeah, well, the last few weeks, Mensur, his averages have been you know, around 90 in the Premier League, which is not what we really expect from him. We expect him to be high 90s, or as he is at the minute, around about the ton.
140.
Yeah, he's 5th in the table now, but he's level on points with James Wade after that win over Darrell Gurney the other night. Seems to like playing in Cardiff, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. That's where he won the Champions League title, of course. He's only lost 1 game in Cardiff. That's to Raymond van Barneveld in the Premier League. Oh, they're all hitting the dab.
Stop it now. Hopefully the next time they go back to that table, Tarek will be eating a pork sword. But just...
I've not seen as many of those snacks in the crowd today.
Making a few friends down there, isn't he, with the Payne supporters?
83.
Nathan Derry's here
Nathan
again.
Derry's absolutely loving his Euro Tour.
He does. He's watched more matches than I have, I think.
Chris Dobie in there as well.
Yeah, Diogo Portella's still here after his elimination yesterday. He's staying around. He's going straight to the qualifiers next week. Not really worth his while going home, given the late start to this tournament.
Josh, you require 132.
Thursday night qualifying at the forthcoming German Open.
Well, Josh hasn't really got into this game.
92.
He was businesslike in seeing off Jihan Artut in the first round, averaged around about 92. Now, it's not quite at that level here against Mensur, who is just playing too well, and he's going to look at double 14 again. And he's not going to miss it, is he? The first 3 legs all won on double 14 for Mensur Suljovic, 2 of them against the throw.
Leg Mensur to throw first.
This does not bode well for Josh Payne.
No, it certainly doesn't. 6-2 win against Jihan Artut yesterday for Josh Payne. Pretty good on his finishing yesterday, 6 from 11, but he's not involved in this one so far. 5 PDC titles 100. To his name for Mensur after winning in Denmark last year, where he overcame, amongst others, Peter Wright, Adrian Lewis and Simon Whitlock.
59.
Whitlock in the final, winning that one 8-3. And then, second half of last year, he dragged in almost £170,000 in prize money. A finalist at the World Match Play, a semi-finalist at the World Grand Prix, last 4 at the Grand Slam.
140.
Semi-finalist in the Champions League, semi-finals in the German Darts Championship.
Yeah, it should be noted as well. I mean, look, he made the final of the Match Play, one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world,
100.
arguably the second most prestigious. And he wasn't far off winning it.
Yeah.
It was one of the great, if not the greatest, Match Play final. It was certainly the longest Match Play final in history. And it took an excellent Gary Anderson to stop him, and it was
60.
only by a very small margin. Mensur Suljovic, yeah, the Champions League of Darts, a non-ranking title. Still the top 8 players in the world in it. Second maximum for Josh Payne, but he very nearly won the World Match Play.
And what was astonishing about it, he posted an average of 104 and a bit, and it was the first time he'd ever posted a ton-plus average in the World Match Play, and he saved it for the final. 14 180s as well, Mensur. I mean, he's not really renowned as a 180 sort of guy, but he hit 14 in that final. Well, it's the most he's ever produced in a single match, but it was a very long match. 21-19. Longest final ever in the 25-year history of the match play.
94. Mensur requires 61.
61 for Mensur for a 4-0 lead, and potentially on course for a back-to-back whitewash. Double 18. Double 9 loves that corner of the board. It's just next door to his favourites.
Games from the 4th leg.
And that's
Mensur Suljovic.
4-0. And there's a bit of aggression about Mensur now.
Game on.
He's clearly in the mood. He's clearly zoned in on this one. And maybe, just maybe, we will have back-to-back 6-0 scorelines tonight.
Yeah, well, Mensur's strength has always been his finishing, and this is superb. He's taken out 34, 68, 31 and 61. All right, they're not big finishers, but they're going every time he comes to the ball. Now, sometimes Josh has been waiting on something, ready to check out himself, like in that last leg. Sometimes he hasn't, but they've just gone. And Josh is going to have to really dig deep. He's at 3 180s here. And the average is actually, he's dragging his average up here, Josh Payne. But he still hasn't had a dart at double in this match.
It's sometimes a good thing that you're not taking out big finishes. I mean, sometimes you have to take out a big finish because you're forced into it. Your hand has been forced into taking out a big finish because you're under pressure. Mensur, you know, I think he'll be more than happy with these numbers that you just reeled off there.
Averaging 103 and hitting 3/4 of your darts, or 2/3 of your darts at double. Winning a lot of games that well. There should at least be a first dart at double in this match for Josh Payne in this leg.
.54. Josh,
there's going to be loads if he needs them. Interesting to go that route with Mensur not on a finish. Oh, well, he's going to split it anyway.
74.
Well, fair enough. I mean, he could have gone treble 18, I suppose, or he could have gone bullseye for tops, but...
Well, Payne had better take out this double 8 now, because all of a sudden he's there and he's looking at double 18 again.
Game shot
and
the fifth
Payne
leg.
does get his first leg on the scoreboard.
Sixth leg.
Maybe a case of too little too late. We'll find out in due course. Suljovic throwing first here for a 5-1 lead.
.85.
Well, there you see, Mensur Suljovic just sort of ticking along in this game, and it's taken the best leg of the match from Josh Payne to deny him.
97.
Seeded 4 here this weekend, Mensur, but he is currently down to number 10 on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. The seedings for this tournament were based on the Pro Tour Order of Merit at the start of March, the first week of March. But he has since dropped down to number 10 on 45. The Pro Tour Order of Merit, so he'll just have to watch his step over the next few weeks. A good performance here this weekend will do him the world of good, because there are plenty making their move just outside the top 16. Very healthy indeed so far for Mensur. Josh Payne himself up to number 31 on the Pro Tour Order of Merit.
81.
Yeah, he has changed a few things. Works for his dad, Josh, but he's cut that down from being a full-time job, where he's had to take loads of holiday for all the darts he's involved in. For just 2 days a week, so he can focus on his game, and I think it's paying dividends. I think he's really going places, Josh Payne. He's hit 4 180s in this match, and he is doing everything he can to drag himself back into this contest.
Credit to his dad as well, because he's obviously treating Josh like every other employee with regards to the unpaid leave and time off and what have you. No favours.
62.
And it was something that Payne was acknowledging when we made our way over from London for this one.
42. Joshua required 22.
To break the Suljovic throw. 3 for double 4.
14. Mensur require 153.
Well, he might yet win this leg, Josh Payne, but I think he would have liked to have taken that one out there and then, just to keep the spirits up.
Well, the problem is it gives Mensur Suljovic the chance to produce a heartbreaker.
And he's capable of doing it. He is capable of doing this, is Mensur Suljovic. Just watch this, double 18.
117. Joshua
that might have been an effective match winner had it gone.
No margin for error here though, Josh, because Suljovic
4
now has 3 clear darts.
And that might be an effective match loser for Josh Payne, because just when it looked like he was making a charge, coming back into it, in the ascendancy, all the wind has been taken out of his sails by a succession of 6 missed darts at double in this leg. Double 9 again for Mensur.
Just next door.
Oh!
But he's inside.
No score.
And he's busted.
Josh, you require 4.
In the madhouse.
Game shot
He was a long way inside on that single 2, but he gets away with it. He finds the double 1. And I just wonder whether we will look back on that missed dart at double 9 by Mensur and the missed dart at double 18 as well in a few minutes' time as a turning point.
Game on.
Because 4-1, or 4-0 in fact, could so easily become 4-3. How it can
100.
just so quickly change. Brilliant illustration of it.
Mensur in real go-slow mode this evening. We've already had one instance where
60.
Josh has been perched just outside the exclusion zone and Mensur's had to walk around him rather closely just because he was mucking about with all the chalk and stuff he's got on the table there. Quite within his rights to do it.
Yeah.
Take as long as you want. And certainly completely befuddled James Wade on more than one occasion over the last few weeks.
140.
And of course it won't be long before Mensur is involved on home soil on the European Tour as well. He was close to winning in Graz last year, made the semi-finals.
Yeah, he has found it hard traditionally in Austria, hasn't he? He does feel the weight of expectation from the home crowd. We've seen that at the World Series finals when it's in Vienna. We've seen him play in Austria before, and it doesn't seem to happen for him in the same way that it happens for him in Germany, for example.
100.
He has had success winning tournaments. Of course,
yeah, he got the German Masters, the World Series event, didn't he?
Yeah,
and,
the International Darts Open in Riesa, that was his first one. He beat Kim Huybrechts in the final.
Yeah, we've made the point before, he's won titles all over the place.
134.
Denmark, Cardiff and Ireland as well. One of the Players' Championship event he won. Only 2 in Germany of the 5 that he has.
111.
Payne close to a 1-4-3 checkout that would really have put the cat amongst the pigeons. Suljovic 67 away from a 5-2 lead and a break of throw that really would settle him down no end. And he's now looking at double 8s for that 5-2 lead. And he finds it, and that will do him the world of good. Well, a few nods of approval in the crowd.
Josh Payne cannot afford to make a single mistake more.
Throw first. Game on.
And Mensur again will take his time. Josh Payne decides that he'll go and investigate things over at the table. There is some frustration there for Payne. He was not really worrying Mensur at all in the first 4 legs, but came back strongly.
60.
But he hasn't had a great deal to show for it. Not enough, anyway.
He's moving downstairs because
57.
He's covered a great deal of that. Devastating timing from Mensur Suljovic.
$140.
Josh Payne just about keeping pace, but Mensur can see the finishing line. And there's nothing slow about his progress now, is there? Nothing slow at all. Back-to-back maximums, even sped up during that visit. Because the final day of action at the German Darts Grand Prix is
60.
Potentially just 2 darts away for Mensur Suljovic. Safety first, guaranteeing 1 dart for the match at tops. That's all he needs. A 12-darter finishes Josh Payne off. A 6-2 victory, 100 average in the end for the gentle. The number 4 seed will go up against Dave Chisnell for a spot in the quarter-finals here at the German Darts Grand Prix. 3 more spots available in round 3. We get to see Simon Whitlock, a former European champion, take on the Spanish number 1 Cristo Reyes. The informed Ross Smith goes up against the second most successful player in Euro Tour history, Peter Snakebite Rice. But coming up, a 3-time world champion, Glenn Durrant, tests himself against one of the most consistent performers on the European Tour. It's the rock star and number 11 seed, Joe Cullen.
Menzo, gratuliere dir. Sag gerade, wann war ein guter Einstand ins Turnier, ne? Durchweg gute Leistung.
Ja, absolut. Er hat super gespielt, aber ich weiß nicht, was für Probleme hatte immer wieder. Ich muss nicht seinen Rhythmus spielen, ich spiele mein Spiel. Er hat wirklich top gespielt. Leider hat er ein paar Mal verpasst. Ich habe alles ausgenutzt und so soll er sein, oder?
Absolut. Vor allem, dass du deinen Rhythmus spielst, das wissen wir. Es läuft in der Premier League richtig gut bei dir. Du hast eine Chance auf einen der Playoff-Plätze. Eine ganz andere Saison als die letzte Saison, oder?
Ja, aber ich hoffe, dass es ja wirklich hart geben. Wir sind außer Van Gerwen Konkurrenz. Jeder kann jeden schlagen. Was das sind Rob Cross und Michael Van Gerwen sind wirklich in Topform. Aber wir können jeden schlagen. Und das ist wirklich, ich muss ehrlich sagen, dieser Top für dieses Spiel, gibt es nichts schlimmer, wenn alle Favoriten sie absetzen und keine andere hat eine Chance. Und jetzt hat er jede Chance. Der Letzte kann er noch immer einrücken.
Wie sind die Chancen, dass du hier in München gewinnst?
Ja, in München, ich bin daheim. Ich habe da 3 Jahre gespielt. 3 Jahre. Ich schwör's. Absolut Respekt von diesem Publikum, von diesem Geist. Absolut Respekt.
Und einen großen Respekt. Oh ja. Und einen großen Respekt für Mensur Suljovic.
Schön. Dankeschön. Ich hoffe, ihr bleibt jetzt so. Jungs, ihr seid die Besten. Absolut die Besten.
Mensur Suljovic, so schaffst du dir Freunde.